Hi there. My name is Gary D. McGugan. I'm an author, and you may never have heard of me because I haven't made the New York Times list yet, but we're working on that. And we have 6 very entertaining novels of international suspense and intrigue, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about the stories, but first a little bit about me. I spent 40 years working with large multinational corporations. And during that period of time, I had a great opportunity to travel extensively, meet thousands of interesting characters, and incorporate both the experiences and the individuals into the stories that I'm writing. Now, they're all fiction. It's pure fiction, but I have 3 weeks less a day is the first in the series, and that's where I introduce all of the major characters. And we have a very entertaining story about the evolution of Multima Corporation as we have the founder looking for a successor. Very entertaining story that then subsequently leads to the Multima scheme. And the Multima scheme is another story where we have an unfortunate miscarriage of justice with an organization I call the organization, and they happen to be organized crime. And you can imagine some of the goings on in that story, where we start off with a director in Quito, Ecuador, who is trying to escape both the FBI and organized crime. We have Unrelenting Peril comes next, and as it suggests, that nefarious organization called the organization still continues to haunt the company. And we have some other very different and interesting plots that unfold, and it's a cliffhanger from beginning to end. We changed a little bit of direction with Pernicious Pursuit. In this story, we have found a former director of the company, and we start off with the story in the Netherlands with a kidnapping and 2 kidnappings. And we proceed through 7 European countries before we reach a conclusion to this Pernicious Pursuit. A Web of Deceit recently won a nice award. It was selected as the top suspense thriller for 2022 by Reader Views in the US. And in the story, as we suggest, the Web of Deceit has a lot of subterfuge in both the criminal and the corporate world. The most recent is A Slippery Shadow. A Slippery Shadow has a lot of goings on where the action and the misfortunes are all attributed to a character that we know only as the Shadow. And the intrigue in this story comes from us trying to find out who is that Shadow, and is that coming from the corporate world, the political world, or just plain criminal world. Each of them are very different, but they have an overlap of characters where we put them into very different scenarios, and we can see different aspects of their characters. As you can tell, I like to talk about my stories, and I use every opportunity that I can to get out and meet new readers. And this, I'd like people to know that my next opportunity will be one of my first in 2023, and I'll be visiting Bookworms Co in the St. Andrews Plaza in Aurora, Ontario. Now, I hope you'll agree that if you're in the neighborhood, it's certainly worth your while to drop by and say hello. And if you're not in the immediate neighborhood, I hope you won't mind making a little bit of drive. We're very easy to reach from anywhere in the York region or Vaughan. And if you'd like to pop by, I'd love to spend some time chatting with you about my books. 3 weeks less a day, The Multima Scheme, Unrelenting Peril, Pernicious Pursuit, A Web of Deceit, and the most recent, A Slippery Shadow. Thank you for joining me for a few minutes, and I hope to see you in person in a few days.